I'd rather be single than be in a marriage where I'm
I
doing
know, because that's how you're
most
talking,
of
and
the.
that's literally what I said, right? You're either gonna get vagina or a cat, because this is dusty talk.
Hi, this is Dana,
What's up,
and
Dana?
yes. So my thing is, I don't think that we should get reparations. Instead, I think that we should have more resources into the community, because I think having more resources in the community will help people better utilize that those opportunities to get ahead and success. If we
What do
give
you think
people,
reparations are? Aren't reparations the ultimate resource?
that's physical money though. Like,
Yeah, as opposed to
sorry,
what? What do you think? What do you think as far as those resources in the community is?
so there's plenty of things that people can do. So people like helping people who want to be helped. So if you see the condition in our community, does it really look
You
like we
can't
want to
help
be helped
anyone
right
without
now?
money.
I know, but people want to help people who want to help themselves. If you look at the condition of the community, does it look like we as a people want to help ourselves? If people did give us money, what would we do with it? Would we build our community together, or would we be spending it on things that didn't matter, that wouldn't help our community? Would
So
we be
that's a great
funneling
question.
it?
So that's a great
Wait,
question.
let me finish.
Oh,
Let me finish.
there's more. Go
Would we
for it.
be funneling it back into the white community like you see a lot of people do, who get ahead and then they go marry other white people, have mixed children, funneling in the money into the white community when they get money, and then those mixed children having making other white people in 2 generations? Does it make sense?
Okay, so it seems like you're conflating two very, very different things, which seems to be a point of interracial marriage or interracial couples and reparations.
No, but I'm saying when people in high status get to a certain degree of success, who do they usually end up marrying? They funnel their resources back into the white community. So how will putting money in our community help the overall community?
Well, first off, it's very hard not to put your resources back into the white community unless you're in a predominantly black neighborhood with black businesses, right? Because the majority of these businesses are white owned. So you would have to have
Mm-hmm.
a actual uh, actively doing of putting of making your money bounce from black person to black person to black person. You would have to actively be doing that because it wouldn't be passively done. When it
Okay,
comes
so people
to
are saying I'm
reparations,
all over the place. So
sure. So
obviously people have some comprehension skills, because what I'm saying actually makes very much sense. Black people do not funnel money into their community when they get money when they get to a certain degree. So how does that not make sense?
so the issue is not funneling money back into the community. The issue is funneling money back into black people. The problem in many of the black communities is that they're not run by black people. Many of the black communities are not they're not filled with black businesses, black owned businesses. That's the problem. So it's a little difficult to put money back into the community. And when you mean by the community, you mean specifically to black people, or at least that's what I mean. Now, when it
Yes.
comes to
Sorry.
reparations, right? It's the same thing as far as how do you spend your paycheck? Does your
Mm-hmm.
manager or your employer inquire about how the ways you spend your paycheck?
Okay, so the chat is saying I'm off. I'm nervous because this is
Don't
my
worry
first
about the
time
chat.
calling
Don't worry
in.
about the chat. You're talking to me, not the chat. So, does your employer, inquire about how you spend your paycheck?
No.
No, right? That would be ludicrous. So, by that same token, right, how black people spend their reparations is entirely up to them. Will there be some that maybe squander it? Absolutely. Just as there's some who squander their paycheck right now. However, there are going to be some who don't squander it and who build and who create. And many of the people in these communities or in these neighborhoods right now would reinvest in their communities. Well, not their communities, their neighborhoods, thus turning them into communities. So now we would have businesses within these communities that we could spend our money on. We would now have, as far as schools and a police force or whatnot, or charter schools or grocery stores that we could put our money into because it would be black owned.
So shouldn't they give money to the people who are trying to build then? Like resources to the people who are
The
showing
issue is not as far
that
as the
they
people
want
who
to
are trying to
change.
build, right? That's the problem as far as with opportunity zones. The problem with opportunity zones is that they may be, the idea in theory is good, but in practice, you may have as far as people, from China or different ethnicities who come into these neighborhoods and who do actually build up, businesses or whatnot in these neighborhoods. The problem is that they're not black people. So the focus is not necessarily having businesses in these communities, because that usually leads to gentrification. The issue is having black-owned businesses with black people.
Yes, I definitely agree. But I want to say one more thing. So white men have been competing with black men since the beginning of time. Logically, what makes you think that the oppressor would give a marginalized community um, a chance to get ahead when they're trying to compete for status instead of just going and taking what you think you are owed?
Well, the thing is with that is that they won't, right? They won't give us anything. History has shown that, even presently, that is shown to be the case. They won't give us anything. So we're going to have to do as they do, which is plan and strategize to get what we want.
Yes, I agree.
But there has to be an outcome in mind. There has to be a final destination in mind. Because I think if
So
our
doesn't that
ancestors could
mean
do it during Jim Crow and whatnot and be successful, I think we should be able to do it now.
so doesn't that mean that there has to be a community then in order for us to get together?
That is correct.
Do,
There's going to have to
do
be
you think that
like-minded.
we have our community
There's going to have to
together?
be.
That's why I was saying in the chat that I don't think money can fix all the problems. If you don't have your community together, how will you get together to even request those things? We have a lot of issues in our community, men and women against each other. Then you have colorism. You have all these different things, self-hate.
Well,
So
all of
money
those
cannot fix.
issues, historically speaking, usually stem from resources. They stem from money.
But self-hate stems from money.
Yes, very much. Because if you have aligned as far as self-hatred, right, with being poor or being a criminal or being a crackhead or being lesser than in this country due to social economic disadvantages, then yes, that does stem from that. You don't have as far as white kids suffering self-hatred, even though there are hillbillies. There are as far as poor white people. There are, country bumpkins, white trash, poor white trash. But the vast majority of them, that is not what's being presented. So the issue as far as having these resources, which would allow us wealth, but then also in combination that, it would allow us power.
I'm 27, not 16. Thank you.
Like I said, don't look. There's no reason to look at the chat, or you can look at it later. But that would give us wealth and power, something that we have systematically been, deprived of. Because along with that wealth, right, would constitute power. Because now we would have our own systems. We would now have communities and not hoods that would be able to flourish and grow. And now that wealth would be passed down from generation to generation. And we would be on the same playing field.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pookies in the community. Do you think they need to have direct deposited, like, money coming in?
If Pookie has a job right now, it is none of my concern on whether their employer chooses to pay them. They are owed that money, even though I think Pookie may use that money and cause harm to the community. Yeah. So what someone does with money that is owed to them is of no concern of mine, right? But however, if, let's say, Pookie does poorly invest it or tries to hurt the community, guess what? Everyone else in that community, I would argue, probably is not going to be looking at Pookie too kindly. And probably would have a police force that looks like them and represents them that would not want Pookie in that community. But however, Pookie would not get shot 60 times for an officer mistaking their cell phone as a gun. So even still, that would benefit Pookie because he would be arrested by his own.
Okay, but I think ultimately what I was saying is, I think, yes, do I think that we deserve some compensation? Of course. But what I was saying was that there has to be a community of people who, like the leaders, if the men are the leaders and they're killing each other, how are you going to come together and even
Well, the reason
demand
why they're
such
killing each
things?
other is mainly due to financial means. All of the 90 the funny thing is that 99.9% of the issues within Black America is from financial reasons, as opposed to every other community. 99% of our issues are due to as far as financial means.
Yeah, I guess, but also like white supremacy, we are like really affected because by that, because of like all the 400 years of slavery and all that really have like brainwashed us. So it's much more than just money. We are dealing with
100%.
the
But along with that money, though, you can unbrainwash yourself, right? Because now, instead of you being, being subject to what white Americans put out as representation of Black Americans, whether that's entertainment, whether that's, in TV commercials, movies, books, all of that is mainly owned not by Black people. Our image, our avatar in this country isn't even owned by us. So by having those resources, we can change that. Because the problem is, in many cases, that many of these, we even had this during Hollywood, where you had a lot of actors, a lot of Black actors, who were given a choice. Hey, you can either starve and not work, or you can do this demeaning role, where you're playing, your typical, stereotypical Black person or something like that. Along with Black people, because there are Black people who are interested in film. And upon them getting those reparations, guess what? You don't think that there are gonna be some Black-owned studios that come out? That's really gonna separate a lot of people, because what it's gonna do is it's also going to put a divide in politics. Because many of the Black people, I would argue, who are in politics, especially on the right and even definitely on the left, are doing so due to the financial means that it gives them. White people who own the majority of resources in this country, and especially elderly, they pay very well from a Republican standpoint, right? The same white people who own the NFL, the NBA, the BETs and the networks, same white people. Now, just imagine if there were Black people. Just imagine we had the inverse. Now we had Black people who own teams. We had Black people who own networks. We had Black people who own studios.
Yeah, but we're too integrated as a society now, and they would play that reverse racism card. Like,
we can
we
never
were
be
doing better
integrated
when we
into
were.
society because they won't allow that to happen.
No,
Even
we're definitely integrated into society, especially with all the interracial relationships going on. We're not segregated as it used to be.
there may
And we
be
were
some
doing,
interracial relationships, but at the end of the day, I would argue many of those Black men know that they're a Black man. Right? So
yeah,
even
but I
even
argue that you
but
have to
even if
teach
they don't
somebody
know
to
it,
love
right? They get a
themselves.
reality check thanks to this country. So
Yes,
there is no
you have
way
to teach somebody to love
of
themselves
escaping
first.
that reality.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another point. I think that you have to teach people to love themselves first, and you have to teach them, like, you know, so that they can love each other. We have to love our neighbor, right? We don't
Hmm.
love each other right now. The Black community, we're very,
But it's very hard to
it's
do
just,
that because you
no,
have
no, it's not, because what do you see Black women do? We're doing Black girl magic. We're doing all these things to uplift ourselves. You know, we're making a movement. We have all these different movements to uplift ourselves as
and that is
Black women. Black
systemically
men
and that's
can do the
honestly,
same thing.
and that's the point, right? You're in many cases Black women aren't doing this. It's mainly the dominant society who has historically used Black women and exploited them to put them on a pedestal to cause division between them and the Black man. That's the point. But you also have to take into account, as far as it's very hard to love yourself if every representation of yourself is always negative. It's very hard to love
But
you if
that's a
everyone else
victim
doesn't.
mindset. You have the ability to change that yourself. Just like black women are doing
You're
that with
absolutely
Black Girl Magic. You
you
have the
do have the
ability to
ability to change it
not take
yourself, but that's not
not take
easy.
those roles. You don't have to take those roles. You don't have to, be a coon. You do not have to do that anymore since all this knowledge is out here. You have the ability to create the image that you want to create for yourself. At some point, we have to stop blaming the white man for everything, and we have to take accountability for ourselves and fix the community. The white man is not going to do it. He's
But
not going to give us the money, and you have to choose to do what you want to do, and you have to take it yourself.
I absolutely agree, and that's what we've been doing, right? But we can't, as far as change our image, because our image has always been tarnished by this country. Even when back in the day when we weren't even doing anything, they had Birth of a Nation and other propaganda out there. That propaganda will always exist regardless of black men and black women's behavior. They will always find a way to malign black Americans in this country. So we very much are, as far as, we've been doing it. We are literally the epitome of lift yourself up by the bootstrap. Our existence is a testament to that stupid, saying. But you cannot, as far as dismiss the obstacles and the systematic oppression and rejection of black people in this country. There has to be some give.
I don't overlook that. I think white supremacy has played a huge part in where we are now. What I was saying is that you know that they're not going to give it to us, so there's no point in assuming or thinking and expecting that from them. You have to go and you have to do the inner self work in yourself and try to dismantle all of the things that you have been taught through the system.
But you can only do that if you're aware of those things, right? Because much of it is subconscious.
There's plenty of knowledge out here by now for people to know what is.
But
going
if you're
on.
not sick, why would you look? But if you don't know that you're sick, why would you look for an antidote?
People who are sick are choosing to stay that way. There's many of.
But listen to what I'm saying. If you don't know that you're sick, why would you take medicine?
Then you have to be living under a rock if you don't know that you're sick. There's a lot of.
That's not entirely true. There's a lot of people out there that are sick that don't know that they're sick.
Then they need to go to therapy. They need better people around them. Then that's a problem with the community. They don't have good people around them.
In a perfect world, absolutely, I would agree. But we don't live in a perfect world.
I mean, yeah, life isn't fair, but at the same time, we have to take accountability at some point.
But we have been taking accountability. Black people do you understand that black people have never been allowed not to take accountability for their actions? Never in the history of this country. So I find it interesting that this is honestly a talking point that I hear from white Republicans about accountability and all lift yourself up by the bootstrap. Black people are the only group of people that have only been privy to that.
I'm not anti-black. I love myself. I love my black people. But I know that if you give black people money, that's going to make things worse. If you just give every single black person in the community money, like by reparations, that's not going to make our community better. There needs to be more.
But you haven't explained to me how it would make it better, because that logically doesn't make any sense to me.
Resources is not just money.
That's literally what resources is, though. That's literally what resources are.
If you're, but not physical money into your bank
As
account.
Opposed to what?
If you're say you're involved in a program, you want to go to college or something. You want to get a car, you want to do something because you can't do it yourself. You in that program, you be consistent, you continue to go there.
Where do you think that program comes from?
Yeah, it comes from.
It comes from money. That is correct. Money. So why on earth? Wait, hold on. Because what you're preaching to me is victimhood status. The opposite of what you want. You want me to depend on a program instead of giving me the money myself and me creating a program.
Yes, because
or me bypassing the program and going directly to the source.
Yes, because it shows that you're trying to do better instead of asking for a handout. When you're going to
wait, okay, so let's back up. So let's back up a little bit. There is no handout being asked here. Is it a handout when your employer pays you?
Well, we weren't in slavery. Your grandma
Okay, so
probably
now
wasn't in slavery. So this is
now we target in on the crux of the issue here. So the issue as far as that you're a descendant of slave, right? If you are, if you're not, then this has nothing to concern you. So your ancestors were entitled to payment for their labor. And they chose not to pay them, and they chose not to pay their ancestors, and they chose not to pay them. That debt does not magically disappear. So it goes down to the next descendant, and the next descendant, and the next descendant. So this isn't a handout. This is a debt that is owed, that is tantamount to you getting a check for your labor. And guess what? If you were to die, that company would still have to pay out that check. They would just have to give it to the next of kin, or your mother, your father, whoever is there. But that debt would still have to be paid.
Yes, I get that, but that makes a lot of sense, and I agree with you. In a perfect world, would I love that to happen?
No.
Yes,
This has nothing to do with the perfect world. This is a reality.
No, I'm saying in a perfect world, would it be great if the white man gave us reparations? Yes, but we already
It
know
has nothing to
that
do with a perfect world, right? That's a deflection, because it wasn't a perfect world when they paid out the Jews. It wasn't a perfect world when they paid out the
But they're
farmers.
white.
When they
They're
paid out
white.
the farmer, hold on, when they paid out the farmers literally a few years ago. It wasn't a perfect
You
world when
are
they paid
white.
out the Japanese. It's never
White
been a perfect
people are
world, and
helping
nor
other
will it ever
white
be a
people.
perfect world. So to
Yes, but they gave the Jews reparations because they are white and they're helping other white people. They have more empathy for other white people. You already know.
then the issue,
how
the
they
qualifier
feel.
of being a perfect world is irrelevant.
Well, I'm saying that as black people, we shouldn't expect white people, the people who have been oppressing black people,
Nobody's
to
expecting
give us
anything. Black
reparations.
people have never expected anything from white people. Never in the history of this country have we expected them to just act on their free will or on the kindness of their heart. That has never been the case. That's why we plan and strategize to make an attack. And I
Well,
mean
you don't have
metaphorically
to
speaking.
actually go out and attack people. I think there's other ways to.
No,
go
I'm talking
doing
about
things.
metaphorically speaking, not a physical attack. But as far as an attack, as far as a means to overcome obstacles to get the outcome that you desire.
Okay, so get your brothers up, get them, the people that you think you can depend on in the community, have a meeting just like how they have the meetings, and make sure that it's just y'all.
That's
Make
what
sure
many
y'all
black people are
strategize.
doing, though.
No, you're killing each other. You're killing black women every 5 hours. You're killing each other. How are black people
That's
doing
not.
that?
I've looked into that. I looked into that study. That's not entirely true. It stems from. I forgot I forgot what it stems from. There's some context that has to come up with that. But no, not all black people are killing each other. That is. I mean, that's statistically inaccurate.
Well, of course, it's not all. Do you think it's
It's not even. I wouldn't
though?
even say it's a good majority. No.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Be for real.
I'm dead serious. Yes. Do you know that there's more black
So-
men? Do you know there's more black men in college than there are in prison?
Okay, so the educated lame, what is he doing for the community?
What do you mean the educated lame?
Yeah, if he's going to college, what is the educated lame, the so-called good black man, doing for the community?
Well, I think as far as what he's doing for the community is building up a family, right? Which then
With who?
with
Who do most educated black men marry?
I don't know as far as who most educated black men marry.
Okay. Let's not act lost here.
Do you
we
know?
who the most we know most black men who get to a certain status do not marry black women. They go outside of their race.
I'm unaware of this because over 80% of black men marry within the race.
Are those black women actually black, or are they mixed? Because mixed is lumped into blackness as well.
I mean, I don't know if they're mixed or not. I would think as far as black
Anyways,
is black.
It's besides the point. I don't really care about that. That's kind of getting me off track.
Well, you
But-
brought it up. I didn't bring it up. But even
I
still,
know,
let's
but-
say we we go down this path. Even him being with a non-black woman can contribute to the black community.
No, because money is a business deal. If you're a man and you're making money, it's going to the woman. Especially if y'all get a divorce.
Wait. I don't know what world you live in, but the money that a man makes is not all going to the woman. And furthermore,
okay, but do you realize that marriages only last 10 years on average now? So you're getting married.
Are these first-time marriages? Wait, hold on. Are these first-time marriages?
Interracial.
But hold on. Are these first-time marriages?
Bro, I don't know.
Wait, well, you should know, right? Because you can't just cite something like that.
Though.
But no, that's not a point if the data is inaccurate or you're misrepresenting it. Because I've heard this before.
Know black men don't get married like that. And when they do, who are they marrying?
What do you mean black men don't get married like that?
They don't get married like that. They want to shoot it up and, make babies everywhere. They don't even stay around.
I don't know who you're referring to because that's inaccurate.
Wait, are you mixed or are you black?
I'm black.
Okay.
I don't know where you're getting these points from. It sounds like divestor talk. And that's usually
I'm not a divestor.
I'm not saying that you are, right? But I'm saying the points that you're making, the attempted points that you're making usually stem from divestor talk. And many of those women who feel that way have been hurt by black men.
Who hasn't?
Well, that's the problem, right? You don't want to project your pain that maybe one individual,
But no,
caused you onto all black men. You don't want to do that because
you say I have pain, but a lot of people are experiencing that though. So
I agree. No, I don't doubt that. But you want to know what I would say? I would say that's a fault of those women. Because I don't have pain towards black women because I've never been with trash black women. So that has to do with you, right? Many of these divestors that have this pain in regards to men. I'm not saying
collective counterparts. Majority of y'all do not know how to.
Like I said, I told you to avoid reading the chat. It's not beneficial or conducive to this conversation.
No, I'm not reading the chat right now.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that's really a you problem, right? Many of these people who have this pain, that's because they poorly selected dusty dudes or dusty women. And when
that's what's available. That is
no. See that right there? That's a dusty mindset. That's why you attract dusty dudes. Right? Because if I have shit, hold on. Let me give you an example. Right? Well, you do because there's some pain there. Right? So
okay,
if I give you a buffet, right? And it's like you're hungry, but you have a choice between shit and not eating. Are you going to eat the shit because that's what's available there, or are you just not going to eat?
Okay, but then if we don't choose these guys, what are they going to say? They're going to call black women stuck up. We don't want to talk
Absolutely.
to nobody.
Who cares? But why do I care about what a Dusty has to think? I don't care what Dusty women have to say to me.
Because I don't like Dusties. I don't deal with Dusties. Just because I had maybe one.
Maybe now you don't deal with Dusties. Maybe now you don't deal with Dusty, but it was a Dusty who hurt you.
Everybody has dealt with a Dusty.
I haven't dealt with a Dusty in my whole life. I've never dealt with a Dusty. I've never dealt with a Dusty. No, the difference is that I know how to vet my women. So I think what women need to do is learn how to vet their men. But in many cases, most women don't know what they want. So they get whatever they get.
How will they know how to vet their men if their dad is not in the home teaching them how to vet men? When they're learning from the media.
I hear you, right? I hear you. But there are certain aspects, right? You may not have a father in the house or even a mother in the house. But that doesn't completely make you, socially retarded. You're still going to have to learn, right? You can have a mentor. That mentor doesn't even have to know that you're a mentor, right? But my family, I won't say my family, but there have been other individuals who may not have been, I don't come from a family of means, right? No one was really into the stock market or learning about that, but you have to teach yourself, right? Because it sounds like this sounds like some victim mentality. Well, I didn't have a father, that's why I chose a dusty dude. No, that's unacceptable. You need to learn how to vet men just like everyone else. And just because you don't have a father there, well, guess what? You have a mother. And given her experiences with dusty dudes, surely she should be able to lead you to some understanding of what a
Oh yeah,
man
I don't
constitutes.
deal with the majority of these makers. They're a lost cause.
Well, I think see that right there, that's a dusty mindset. Because I would never say something like that. I would never say the majority of these women are dusty. Because I haven't been with dusty women.
You might not have, but a lot of your counterparts do think that black women are undesirable. And that
I
they're
don't know
lost
those
cause as
men,
well.
right? So here's the problem. You get what you focus on. You focus on those dudes who don't like black women, then you're going to have an animus and disdain for black men. I don't deal with those men.
I could care less who likes me.
I don't deal with those men, and I don't deal with those women. So you need to better vet your social circle and what you allow to go into your ear. Because it will definitely have an impact on your behavior. So if you hear a bunch of black men saying black women are shit, I can't stand ugly black women are always ugly, that's going to have an impact on you. Whether you agree with it or not.
I have a problem getting a black man, so that doesn't relate to me.
It has nothing to do with getting a black man. It has to do with getting a good black man. Because no one wants just any man, right? I would assume
that. What is a good black man, though? There's no such thing as a good black man. What is a good black man?
Well, you're talking to one right now, right? So that's something that you have to decide, right? That's a problem. You don't know what you...
Maybe you're a part of the small percentage.
Wait, no. It's not a small percentage. Hold up.
Job.
It can't be a small percentage if you don't even know what it is, right? You don't even know what a good black man is to you.
A house and you're doing the responsibilities that you're supposed to do as a man does not make you a good.
But hold on, you don't even know what a good black man is to you. So if you don't know what it is, how are you going to find it? I know what a good black woman is to me. I know what a good woman in general is to me. That's how it's easy for me to pick it out.
I know what a good. That's how I know how to point out the dusties. Like, if I didn't know what a good black man was, then I wouldn't know what a dusty was. It's the opposite of a
That's
dusty.
That's not necessarily true.
And take care of their family. Somebody who doesn't expect 50-50 and expects a woman to submit while they also have to pay the bills and do all the cleaning and the housework and all that stuff. That's a dusty. That a good man is the
sure. And have you found good men? Have you been able to come across good men?
No, because I'm in school right now and I'm focusing on graduating from grad school so that I can be around.
So why are you talking about? But why are you talking about black men if you haven't even experienced them?
I have plenty of experience with black.
What I mean, black men. We don't talk about the dusty black men. Have you experienced a good black man?
No, because I realized that I need to elevate.
Okay. Wait. Hold up. Okay, then.
Let me say.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me you have never experienced a good black man. You don't see that as a problem?
15. I do see that as a problem. Let me finish what I'm saying. The reason I'm probably different than most black women because I realized that there was a problem. I realized that I needed to step back and I needed to heal. I went to therapy. I did some inner self work. I stopped sleeping with dusties. I'm in school so that I could be around the type of men that I want to attract. What part of that does not show that I took accountability?
That sounds great, but at the same, that sounds
Meanwhile,
awesome.
There's a dusty on the internet talking about how black women education don't matter. But guess what? I'm going to be with the best man regardless of his skin color because a lot of these dusties, they don't value when a black woman gets her education. Am I a divestor now?
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you why. Hold on, because there's a lot of good men, and speaking from a good man's perspective, that doesn't matter to me anyway. Right? What is your education? What is you having a BA or a high level degree? What does that mean to me?
Because it shows that I am trying to elevate myself and attract, as you say, you're a high or you're a good black.
To elevate, but there's a lot of women who may not have a high degree and still have elevated themselves.
But shouldn't you be looking for someone who is educated and not a bimbo if you're a good black man?
Hold up. But there are different gradations to education, right? Just because there are a lot of stupid educated people out there, that doesn't mean anything. That's a very small aspect of what constitutes.
It shows ambition.
That's a very small. Ambition. But no. There's a lot of ways to show ambition, right? There are multiple ways to show ambition aside from you getting a higher level of degree. Because a lot of people, especially within the black community, don't have that access as far as the finances to even get that higher degree. They can still have that ambition without that degree. So the degree in and of itself is meaninless in some cases, depending on the woman.
There's a lot of programs out there. They just have to look for it. I've been a part of
depending on the. But here's the thing. Yeah, that depending on the woman, it could be meaningless because I've known a lot of.
That was my point in the beginning.
But here's the thing, because you're focusing on a degree, and I'm telling you why many good men don't care about that. Because I've come across a lot of women who may not have the high degree, but at the time they were making more money than me without a degree. While I was in school trying to get a degree. So that degree, you're putting a lot of emphasis on that degree.
Well, we know there's a lot of different ways now to make money.
And that's only good. That's not going to be impressive to a man who's looking for a wife.
Well, it should be if you're a so-called good man.
But you haven't experienced what a good man. But here's the thing. But you haven't experienced a good man. So you can't tell a good man, hey, this is what you should want. That's not how it works.
Okay, so you're going to get with a woman who works at Target, who has no ambition, who has no direction in life, over a woman, like, you know good and well.
Now, hold up. I didn't say anything about that. What you just did is painted a picture that was beneficial to your argument. There are tons of women, and I talk about this, just as there are men who I say fixer-uppers. If she can have ambition and drive and be at a lower status job or a lower employment, but she has dreams and ambitions of, hey, I want to do this and I want to do that. That's fine for me. Absolutely. 100%. I'll take that. I'll take that 10 over 10 any day of the week.
Yeah, well, you probably have a different mindset, but
100%. And I'm looking for someone with a similar mindset who's wishing to grow. I'm not judging you as far as where you are right now. I'm judging you on where you could possibly be in the next 5 to 10 years. That's the difference between a good man. You may be struggling right now. But a fixer-upper, I know a fixer-upper is not going to be struggling in the next few years. I know a fixer-upper is going to put in some work. And just because you have ambition, there's a lot more qualities that I'm looking for, especially if I'm looking as far as to put a ring on you. Because I don't. What's the point of you being independent? All this, I'm not looking for another man, right? A lot of these women are trying to be men. Men aren't looking for men, unless they're homosexuals, in which case they're looking for a man.
No, they're looking to be kept women.
They're looking to what?
A lot of these men want to be kept women.
Kept women? I don't know what that means.
It means that you're looking for a woman to provide for you. You're sitting in the house, being a bum, kicking your feet up, playing video games.
Most men are not looking for that at all.
We're not cleaning or anything.
Most men, and especially good men, aren't looking for that. Right? So when you say something like that, that lets me know of your experiences. Because I would never say most women are just looking for a man who's making a lot of money. Because that lets me know that that's a jaded man. That's a man who's probably had a bad experience with a woman, right, who used him and abused him. So when you speak, you're snitching on yourself.
Okay, but when you're talking to black women, you have to realize that even black men, a lot of us come from single-parent households. We don't have fathers, which what I was saying was that you need to start being in your children's lives. Of course,
the majority, you understand the majority, do you understand the black men are in their children's lives more than any other race of people? More than any other man, any other race of man, black men are in the children's lives.
When they're there, are they teaching them values that they should have when they get older? Are they actually being present?
Yes. Unless you believe they're not saying anything while they're, fixing down the breakfast, taking them to school. Unless you believe it's just a silent conversation.
I mean...
But that's also something that a woman has to look out for. If a woman is just thinking every man is good or worse, every man is bad, then you're placing yourself in an untenable position. You're placing yourself towards a life of a dog or another woman. Because those
I
are the
have one
only things that are going to
I
be
have a
available
question.
to a woman with that mindset.
I have a question.
Go
So,
for it.
if a woman is taking accountability for herself and not choosing to be around dusties, wouldn't you think that her getting a degree,
The issue,
being around educated people, then having careers where there's also successful people would mean that she took accountability for herself not to be
that's
around
heavily
dusties?
dependent on as far as what you view as success, right? If your whole idea is being around a certain group of people who make a certain amount of money, that's not success. Trust me. I've already been around those people. Most of those people
But
are
didn't you
fucking.
say that money is the root of all of the issues that and it fixes everything though?
Yes, I do say that. As far, when it comes to black people, right? But you also have to take into account that the nature of some people is that in many cases, many of those people are very vicious. Because sometimes they've gotten to that point by having to be vicious. Many of those people are very narcissistic because they
Wait,
see
who?
themselves as better than everyone else. And I don't know if you've ever been with a
Wait,
narcissistic individual, but it's not fun.
wait. That is a projection. Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody else.
I'm not
I
saying
don't
you
think
are
I'm.
because you're not in that tax bracket. But
Okay, it
when you
doesn't
get
matter if I'm
around
in
those
that tax
people, you'll
bracket
start to
now.
notice certain
I'm in
things.
school so that I can be in that tax bracket. It doesn't matter, and I'm not going to
But
look
you're
down on other
wishing, but
people.
what I would advise you to do is get around those people now. Because you're putting this
But
on a pedestal and you don't know what you're working towards, right?
no, I'm not putting it on a pedestal. Just because I get a degree doesn't think it's going to fix all of my problems. All of a sudden, I'm going to become this high value. What is high value? Who cares? That's just a category. I don't think it's going to fix all of my problems. No, but I think it shows that I'm working towards being a better person. I'm not being lazy. I'm choosing to educate
Do you
myself
think that there
instead
are
of being a
people, but
statistic.
here's the thing. You're putting a lot of emphasis on education, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Because it is important,
It's really
especially in
not
our
though.
community.
It's really not. There are a lot of people, especially prominent ones, who have never even gotten a
Okay, so
college
what
degree.
happens if somebody's rap career doesn't fall through? What happens if something doesn't fall through? They need a backup plan. So yes, having
Well,
a
it
degree doesn't
depends.
make
Well,
you
hold on. It
rich,
depends on the person
but it
because
is a
someone who
backup
is,
plan.
well, it depends on the person, right? And that comes with discernment. Whether to know as far as when someone is delusional, right? Or is actually can make it.
Go to school, guys.
So what you are planning to do is to be, I don't know, essentially a worker bee. There's some people who don't think like that. There's some people, hey, instead of working at a job, I want to create a job. But if you want someone who has that same worker bee mentality, then sure, you
Not
absolutely can
everybody
find it.
can be business owners.
You're absolutely correct. And even with that degree, that doesn't as far as necessarily give you any type of advantage as opposed with someone with greater ambition and passion.
It does. It does.
It literally
sometimes
doesn't.
Sometimes jobs, even certain fast food or whatever, requires people to have a bachelor's degree or something.
And one thing you need to understand is that some people may not want jobs. Some people want to create their jobs.
Okay, but what I am saying is not everybody can be a business owner. You have to have different types of paths that people can choose to take.
That's
also,
correct.
College is a backup plan.
That's correct. But this
Sometimes
is
jobs
your
require you
path
to
though,
have at
right?
least
You
a
can't view
bachelor's
other
degree.
people who haven't taken this path as less than or as you being superior in any type of way. Because you're not.
No, I never said that. But we're trying to get.
But you're
some
saying by
issues
you getting the
resolved in our
degree
community.
shows ambition. There are
Yes,
other
it does.
women
And then, like you
without
said,
there are other women without such
exactly.
higher
There are other
degrees
ways to show.
that can have
There are
ambition.
other ways to show it. Yes, there are other ways to show it. I'm saying that is one, and that's the path I chose. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to take whatever path you want to choose. You shouldn't belittle getting a degree and saying that's not going to help with anything. That should still be up on the options. How is not getting an education not beneficial to the community? You want a whole bunch of dumb, ignorant people running around just like how they choose to call us the
Well, that's the
N-word,
problem.
which
But you see, that's the
literally
conditioning that
ignorant.
you have. You've conflated as far as getting an education with being intelligent and not getting an education with being unintelligent.
What? You want to go and Google? You want to like talk to your street friends and have street cred or whatever you call it? Be street smart?
I don't know.
You want to look everything
What you're
up on
saying
Google?
lets me know the
Like,
type of people that you're used to associating with.
no, I'm not around a lot of people. Like I keep my circle
But
is
that's what you
small.
the
So
examples you keep using, right? Are of certain are a certain group of people that either you see on the regular or you're used to associating with. Because those aren't examples that I would give.
I do not associate with Dusties. This is my own perspective of what I see in the
Exactly
world.
from what you see. And so in order for you to see that, you have to be in certain environments.
I'm around white people.
You're around
Like
white
I
people.
live,
If you're around
my
white people,
my
why do you
area
keep
is
bringing
not
up
that
these?
diverse. I do not live in the hood. I do not live around Dusties. No, I live around majority white people.
But what does
So
that mean to
what you're
you? Do
saying
you
is
do you think
incorrect.
that's? I don't know what that means. Living around white people, right? Do you think
I
that
don't
there's
think
not dusties that live in the around white people?
no. I live in a freaking small town. There's not, so it's okay.
Do you think that there's not
But no, I'm
dusties that
not
live
putting
in a
white
small
people in a
town
category.
around white
You will never
people?
see me. You will
I don't
never see
understand.
me putting white
I
people
hope
in
you
a
understand that
category.
there are dusties with a college degree or with a master's. You do understand this, right?
Yeah, educated lanes, exactly. They're dusty because they don't help their community either. It's not always about the money.
No, it has nothing to
I mean,
do with that because in many cases, what you have to understand once you get to these men that you believe are higher educated or whatnot, they
okay,
have it.
besides education and money, what I'm saying is about a mindset too. Yes, you can have a degree and you can still be a dusty. You can be an educated lane. You can still be a dusty. You can still be a self-hating coon. That's why I'm saying that people need to do some inner self-work, love themselves, learn to love their brothers so that they can fix the problems in their community. Getting a degree is not going to help. Having money is not going to help fix all the problems in the community.
It would
It's
fix as
about
far as 99.9% in the community.
okay, but okay, so what do you see black people valuing most right now when they get money? What do you see them spending it on? And how would that help?
I don't know. I can't speak for all black people. I know that there are some who may spend their money
Well, we have a
frivolously.
toxic
There are some
we
who
have a
may waste
toxic
their money,
culture.
and there are some who may invest their money.
Yes, we have a toxic culture, and
There
I
is no
think there's a
we
lot
have a
of
toxic culture because this isn't our
the
culture.
black culture. The black
This
culture.
is not
Yes,
black
you're
culture.
black, right?
No,
You're
hold on.
black.
Yes, I
You
am.
are a
And
part of this culture.
no, I'm not a part of this culture because this
Yes,
culture.
you are. If you
Listen,
are
listen.
black,
Hold up. Listen to what I'm saying, right? Listen to what I'm saying for a second, right? This is not black culture, right? This is a bastardization of black culture manufactured by the white dominant society. That's
yes,
what this
and
is.
they're choosing
So
to
this
fall
is not,
for
so
it.
hold up. So then this is not black culture, right? So upon with those funds and those resources being put into the right hands, we can actually give a proper representation of black culture and black people. We can actually control our image. And upon our image being controlled, that is going to have a drastic impact on the psyche of many black youth and many black men and women.
Do you know what image you would put out there?
The
What
same
image would you
image
put
as
out
far
there?
as that
Because
my
like you said,
ancestors
there's a
put,
lot of people.
the same
Wait,
image
you
that my
said there's a lot of
ancestors
people
put
who
out
are
there.
sick,
Well,
right?
I'm telling you, the
You
same
said there's a lot of people who are sick.
the
So
same
how would they
image that
even
my
know?
ancestors put out there upon them being as far as freed from being slaves. That's the image I would put out there. The
Yes,
image that
but you
black
said
people
there's a
have
lot of
always
people
put
who are
out there
sick, though.
up until as far as up until the dominant society got their hands on individuals who were less fortunate.
Yes, and I agree. There needs to be a better image. But if we're in the condition that we are in now, a lot of black people don't know where they're come from. They don't know their history. They're only fed that you're thugs, you're criminals, and all this stuff. And they're deep inside of that. How would they know even to? How would they even know that there is a problem? Because you said there's sick people
Right there,
who
so
don't even know that
that's the
there's a
struggle
problem.
right there. That is the obstacle that is being tackled. It is an ever-present, ever-growing obstacle because there are external factors in addition to internal factors that are going against black Americans. Something that is not present in any other group. So as a black woman, you would think that they would be able to empathize or at least have a certain understanding of what is going on.
No, I empathize. I do. I'm just saying that we have to also take accountability for ourselves so we can.
But black
like,
people have
rise
never
as
been
a-
able not to take accountability.
What I mean by that is do some inner self work. Nobody can do that for you but you. You have to love yourself enough to do that
Sure,
for yourself.
but you talk like a child, and what I mean by that, I don't mean that disrespectful, but you talk as far as a certain amount of innocence, right? It's a little hard to do some deep diving into you when you have bills to pay, right? When rent is due, when you may have a child, right, that you have to feed, when you have a child that you have to put, in school, right?
Okay,
or you have to figure out where the next meal is coming from, or there's a
I'm a homebody.
There's a school uniform that you got that your child destroyed, and now you don't have the money to repay to pay to get a new one. So it's not so simple as, hey, focus on yourself and your inner zen and whatnot. That's not how that works.
Okay, but you're getting innocence and childish mixed up. I'm 27 years old. I haven't had that much worldly experience. Okay. I'm a homebody.
So then you're not in a position to talk on this. You're not. You're not.
I am,
you're not in a position. Listen, hold up. You're not in a.
That does not mean I am ignorant.
Hold up. No, that does. That's exactly what that means.
Just because you think I sound like a child.
No, hold up. No, I didn't say any of that. Listen to me. That's literally what that means. Because you have not. Because you are young, right? On the young, you are fairly young, and you haven't experienced a lot in this world. You are ignorant, and all ignorant means.
You want me to talk like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, you want me to sound ghetto and ignorant?
I didn't say any. I don't know what ghetto or ignorant has anything to do as far as with someone being ignorant due to a lack of experience.
But you're choosing not to hear what I'm saying, though.
I am hearing what you're saying, which caused me to say that you're probably young.
We can agree to disagree. But you don't have to call me.
There is no such thing as an agree to disagree. You'll learn that in life when it comes to a man. There is no agree to disagree.
You can disagree without having to bash the other person in their opinion.
I'm not bashing you, right? And that's why I know that you're young. That's it. Nothing that I said is a bashing of you. Youth is honestly, it's a benefit, right? It's a benefit. Because if you were to learn this at a younger age than at a later age, that is a benefit to you, not a detriment. But as far as being ignorant of many things, that's not a problem. I'm ignorant of stuff even as an adult grown man. But I'm aware of my ignorance. The problem comes in as far as when you're ignorant of something and you choose to give your opinion on it. You have no, as far as self, you have no experience in this world enough
whether I have experience or not, we already know, like I said, that they're not going to give us reparations. So if you already know that.
No, I don't know that. And I don't know that. There's no reason for me to know that because I've seen them give everyone else reparations.
They're not going to do it because black men are their biggest competitors. They've been competing with y'all since the beginning of time.
I understand that. I absolutely understand that. That's meaningless to me, right? That's meaningless to me. That was meaningless. It was meaningless. Hear me out. I'm going to explain to you why. It was meaningless to my ancestors when we had Black Wall Street. It was meaningless to us when we had our businesses and our communities and our towns. All right? It's always been meaningless to us. So once again, I don't fall prey to this defeatist mentality. This doesn't mean anything to me, right? Whether or not it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fight in the black man, in the black community. And that fight in the black man is only backed up by the fight in the black woman. So if we have a bunch of black women who don't believe that is going to happen, that's going to have an impact on the black man.
No, okay. So what I want for y'all to do also is to get better security, okay? I don't know if you heard about what happened. I forgot what town.
What do you mean better security?
Okay, let's just hear me out. What happened in the grocery store, the black-owned grocery store, the white supremacists came up in there and shot up the place.
Oh, in Buffalo?
With a whole bunch of, what?
Yeah, in Buffalo. That was a no gun zone. He targeted that place due to the lack of as far as guns in the area.
And he knew that he could come up in there and shoot up everybody. Okay?
Yeah.
So first of all, if they're not scared of you, then that's a problem. If you don't have enough security.
Well, I would think that. Hold up, because I would think that them doing that person doing something like that, is literally the epitome of being fearful of someone. Right? If you have to go out of your way, you drove hours to find a certain area that you knew has no guns, right? Is a gun-free zone in order to target a group of people. That lets me know that you're terrified.
Yeah, I
So
get
what you're
anyway.
saying doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so what I'm saying is we already know that white people have been sabotaging the black community, okay? So we already know their tactics by now. At this point, there's no excuse for us not to already have prepared for whatever we think a white supremacist, a deranged white supremacist might come up and do. So therefore, if you have businesses, you need to protect your businesses, hire better security, make sure that's on deck. Okay,
Hold
so a
up, hold
white
up. There's a
person,
difference.
a
Hold up, hold up.
deranged white
There's
supremacist don't come up
hold
and
up,
shoot up
because
the
this
place.
this is an outlier, right? This is very much an outlier. You may expect as
No,
far as
it's not, because
no, hold up,
whenever
hold up. I'm
we
going to
do
tell
get
you why
ourselves
it is,
together,
right?
they
You
have
expect that
sabotaged it.
as far as a black person in this country, you may expect something like that happening in regards to maybe the police, but you don't expect someone to drive hours and hours from their home to target a black grocery store, right? That they know is as far as a gun free zone, to shoot people.
Well,
That
that's
is
a problem with you guys'
asinine to
foresight.
put.
Y'all have terrible foresight.
That
You
is
have terrible
what foresight could they have that would lead them
Because
to
if you
believe
don't
that would happen at that grocery store?
if you haven't saw in history what
Wait, no,
happens
no, no.
whenever
Explain
you
to me
crash
what. Explain to me when that has happened in that area
that is a
at that
problem.
time.
Black Wall Street, they bombed Black Wall Street. That's what happened.
What is
if you
Black
guys look
Wall
at
Street?
history,
Wait, hold on. Do you know as far as where Black Wall Street was? Do you know anything
whatever
about
the
Black
place,
Wall Street?
it was the place where they bombed when we had businesses and we were thriving
What
the most,
place?
right?
Where?
It was like a okay. Now you're getting technical.
No, no,
You're
no.
missing
Because
my whole
no.
point.
See that right there? You don't know what you're talking about, right? But you're speaking
No,
on
you
it.
don't know.
You don't know what you're talking about, and you're speaking on it, right? This is a place of ignorance. It's arrogant ignorance, right?
No.
And this is not an
Oh my
attractive
God. This is
quality
why I say
in
you guys
anyone.
are lost causes. This is why I say you guys are a lost cause.
No, well, if that's the case, then it is what it is. If that's what you believe, which is what you've been as far as
Because what I'm
relaying this
trying to
entire
say
time,
is,
if
it
you're
doesn't matter if
ignorant,
you think it's an attractive quality or not. Black women had to be more masculine, and we had to take the leadership role because of black men not stepping up to the plate.
that is historically inaccurate. Wait, hold on. That's historically inaccurate. And any black woman that believes that is historically ignorant.
You keep throwing this ignorant word around.
And the reason why, I'll tell you why you're ignorant. What I mean ignorant is that you're just unknowledgeable, right? You're unknowledgeable in that aspect. I'm unknowledgeable in thermodynamics. I don't know anything about that, right? There's nothing wrong with you being ignorant. The problem is when you speak on something as if you are educated or knowledgeable in it, but you're not. Because someone who is will be able to see right through that.
It up. I just literally looked up what Black Wall Street was, and it was exactly what I said it was.
No,
So
I didn't
how
ask
you
as
say
far as
that?
what you said it was. I asked where it happened, where it occurred, and you didn't know.
But that's getting technical. It doesn't.
No, it's not getting technical. What do you mean?
Because I'm not talking about where it happened. I'm talking about
what I'm
point
referring
that
to
I'm
is that
trying
you
to
have
say.
your knowledge of black history is the same thing as a white American. That's your
Okay,
knowledge
the
of black
point of what I
history.
was
And
trying
if
to
you
make
think
is
you
that-
and if you think that's a compliment, that is not a
Can I
compliment.
finish my point?
Well,
The
sure.
point
Let me
I'm
address
trying
as
to
far
say
as
is
far as black women having to step, but that's not true, right? What you have to understand is to contextualize that in history. Black women have been put in that position by the dominant society to cause a division within black men. That's what they have done because they know as far as there's a division there, that is going to hurt the family. Upon the family being hurt, that is going to hurt as far as their life cycle, their black people's existence. So by you thinking, instead of viewing it, right, framing it as, oh, this was done to us to harm us, as opposed to you, well, look, we did this and this is where we are. Instead of trying to see it as like an advantage over black men, you should be viewing it as the means of them harming you.
On black men, we have stood by y'all for when y'all was getting beat by cops in the street. We stood by y'all when y'all was going to prison. We stood by y'all when y'all was even beating on us, killing each other. So how the heck are you going to say that we have turned on our backs on black men when we literally have been put through the ringer with you guys? And how do y'all repay us?
You haven't been put through the ringer with anyone.
What?
You haven't
You
been
know my
put through the
life?
ringer. You're speaking on things that happened prior to your even existence. You haven't experienced any of that. You haven't experienced not a damn thing. You barely experienced life. So I don't know why you talking like you older than you are, like you've experienced more than you have. What this relates to me is that you're regurgitating talking points from another person. I don't know who that person may be, but this isn't you speaking. This is a script that you've repeated or memorized.
I don't understand. Anyways, I'm not gonna go there. I'm trying to stay respectful. So,
Go where?
but
There's
anyway,
nowhere for you to go, right? Because you're just repeating. You're not actually thinking. Repeating something is not the same thing as thinking, especially if you haven't even looked up as far as what you're repeating.
this conversation just went off topic. I don't know.
It didn't go off topic anywhere. It's just that you're reading from a script, and it's kind of obvious to anyone who has had this conversation before. Especially since you've already admitted that you have no really real world experience. So
Okay, that
everything
means
you're
that
saying is like, how can you say this? First off, you've never experienced it. Secondly, you've never experienced it. And thirdly, you've never experienced it. It'd be like me
But what
talking
does my
about giving
personal
birth,
life have
right?
to do with?
It would come off as a little incongruent. It's like, why are you talking about giving birth? You've never given birth. You're not a woman. You never experienced that. So how are you going to talk about giving birth and labor and the pains of contractions? It's coming off
Yes, but what does
incongruent.
my
That's why.
personal life have to do with the collective of the community, though?
It has nothing to do as far as with the collective of the community. It has to do with the talking points and the narratives that you're presenting.
Okay, but you're also have your talking points, so why can't I have mine?
Really? No, I have no talking points. And what I'm saying is based in facts, right? In history. What you're saying is
So
a very misguided.
If we get reparations, what's going to happen from there?
What is going to happen from there?
Yeah,
I would see
like, how do you see that
I would see an
changing the
explosion within
community?
the Black America. That's what happened.
And they don't want that to happen. So
I don't know what that means to me, right? They didn't want us to be free. They didn't want anything. They didn't want us to be here right now. Why on God's green earth do I care about what they want?
exactly. So take it then. Instead
Sure,
of
but
asking,
but you have to understand that there's a method to that. You can't just run up in the Capitol and say, "Hey, here's what I want." That is a luxury that is not privy to Black Americans. So we have to plan and strategize and go about the systems that have been put in place to get to where we want, just as every other group has done. One thing I always say is mirror, the homosexuals when it comes to the alphabet. To
okay,
where
but
we
what I'm
are
saying
right
is,
now.
I don't want people thinking that money is going to fix everything. If you're saying that we have to come together first,
Yes,
and you're
it
saying
very
that
much
we only
will,
need
though.
money,
That's what you have to
but
understand.
you're saying that we need money to come together, and that's not true. So if you know that they're not
No,
going to give
no,
us
no. I didn't say you
reparations,
need money to come together, but coming together in and of itself is meaningless unless you're going to plan and strategize. And that's what
yeah, but a
that's what
community.
many Black Americans around the country are doing. And that's
Okay,
what
I'm not
they've
going to
been
even
doing.
say the
I don't know
defeatist
why you
route.
act like
So
this is a new fight. Do you understand that Black people have been fighting this for quite some time?
yeah, I get it, and I'm not going to even fall into that defeatist route because it's really easy to go there. So
What
I
do you mean
think
go
that
where?
to the defeatist route by saying that the community is too far gone and we're never going to come together, because that's what it seems like. But I'm not going to go there
Well, you can't say you're not going to go there and then say that's what it seems like.
because
You're
that's
talking out of
what
both sides of your mouth. Here's what you need to understand, Black women. You are either for us or against us. Those are only options. There is no pussyfooting and being on the fence.
we have been. Well,
There
I'm
is
just
no
giving a
we.
warning
You are
now.
27.
Most Black women
No,
have been
there is
there
no
for
we,
Black
and you
men.
can't speak for most Black women.
Yes, the majority of Black
You
women
can't
prefer
speak
Black
for
men.
most
What the
Black
hell
women,
are you
and there
talking
is no
about?
we. You are 27. You have got to find your own path in this world. Stop
So what
piggybacking.
I'm saying is,
Stop piggybacking off of everyone else. Learn to think for
Lucas,
yourself.
what I'm saying is that Black women have been there for Black men. But
You
what do
don't
you
been
see
where?
a lot of
Been
black
where?
men,
Been where?
what do you
Where have
see a
they
lot
been
of
for
black
black
men
men?
doing? What do you see a lot of black men
No,
doing
no, where
online
have
right
they
now?
been
Do
for
you
black
honestly
men?
think that black women
No,
are
hold up,
gonna
hold
have
up.
y'all
This is
support?
we're gonna break this down. Where have they been for black men? Because I don't know what that means.
What the fuck?
Do you see why it's a problem when you regurgitate talking points that aren't your own?
Because the community is the way it is.
Where have
Because
they
of
been
black
for black
women.
men?
If we would have turned our backs on you guys, there would
Wait,
be no
where
black
have they
community.
been for black men? What if I were
By
to tell you?
standing beside
Hold up.
y'all.
What happened if I were to tell you? What happened if I were to play devil's advocate and say, you know what, black women have never had our backs. Never. They slept with
Then
the
you would
slave
be a
master,
bold-faced
and they've
lie.
been sleeping with
You
the
would be
slave
a
master ever since.
bold-faced.
What would you say
You would
to
be a
that?
bold-faced lie. You
What
would
would
be
you?
a
Okay,
bold-faced
boldface
lie.
like how? Y'all were sleeping with the slave master back then. Now what? Now you're sleeping with the white man talking about I want a higher education. How would you refute that?
Bruh, the slave masters were literally.
How would you
raping
refute
black
that?
women and men.
How
And
would you
men.
refute
So
that?
what the fuck? The slave masters were literally raping black women and men. So you say that?
No, not all of them. Because even after slavery was over, black women were actually getting with many of the were getting with many of the white plantation owners of their own volition.
Rape are two things. Are the same thing?
What?
So are you saying consensual sex and rape are the same thing?
No, I'm not. But I'm saying black women have never had black men's back, even during slavery times.
White men were taking it from.
Yes, they were. They absolutely were during slavery. But after slavery, as I just said, they were willingly.
What do you think
they were.
Us to do as black women, we're in the same position.
Listen to what I'm saying. They were willingly getting with. They were willingly. Hold on. They were willingly getting with these plantation owners. They were willingly. Listen to what I'm saying. They were willingly getting with these plantation owners and marrying them.
Okay, and black men were marrying white women.
No, black men were not. Nope, absolutely not. Black men were not marrying white women at that time. They weren't even allowed to.
They've been lusting after white women, and I wasn't even going to go there, but since you want to go there, black men have been lusting after white women ever since they got off the plantation. They have been getting lynched.
You want to know where they got it from? They got it from black women.
Lynched. They have been getting lynched because white.
They got it from black, but they got that. But they got that lust from black women.
Right.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because they saw black women lusting after the plantation owner, and they wonder, oh, I wonder what that's about.
Now you sound ignorant.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where's the lie though? They got that from black women. They saw the black women lusting after the plantation owner, like, okay, maybe there's something there. So it's actually black women who started all of this.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get
It's black women. This is history. You can look it up.
Where is that though? Like, where can I find that? Because that just sounds like you're bold-faced lying right now.
What do you mean I'm bold-faced lying?
So you're saying that slaves were willing participants?
No, absolutely not. I didn't say anything about slavery. You keep talking about slavery. I'm talking about post-slavery.
But you're talking about the master, right? That means you're in slavery.
No, that doesn't mean you're in slavery. You could have a master now and not be in slavery. What are you talking about?
Bro, y'all say black women are headaches.
I'm just asking why haven't black women ever, as far as, had black men's back?
What?
Give me an example. Give me an example of a black woman having black man's back. Give me an example.
I'm just like.
Give me an example. I'm waiting for an example.
I'm just like, I don't even.
Do you have an example?
Like really right now. No, I'm just really appalled.
Yeah, I know you don't, right? That's the point, right? So what we learned here today is if I were to flip the script on you, you are ignorant. You are repeating talking points. So that is the danger of repeating talking points, especially talking points that you haven't even researched.
What do you want us to go upside the white man's head? We have been literally
especially talking points that you haven't even researched. So what I would advise you for you to move forward.
Did you expect us to go upside?
What I would advise for you moving forward is to not repeat talking points by women who are just as hurt as you are. Because it's not going to help anyone.
Yeah, you can say that. I went to therapy, so I'm not hurt anymore.
That's great. That doesn't mean that you're not hurt just because you went to therapy. That's not how that therapy works. You're not magically cured just because you go to therapy. Depending on the wounds, depending on how deep the wounds are, that can take some time.
Okay.
I'm just saying, stop repeating talking points. Because they're not going to help anyone. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help the black community. It's not going to help anyone.
day, right? This is disagreement day, right? You're supposed to listen to other perspectives.
Yes, I'm supposed to listen to other people's perspectives. But the problem is,
don't you expect me to come to a conversation prepared?
Yes, I agree. But the problem is here is that this isn't your disagreement. You are repeating someone else's talking points. This isn't anything that you believe, right? This is all superficial regurgitation.
I'm still.
This is like you are basically a baby bird. You are basically a baby bird,
and black women.
And some other big bird.
Because they
don't stop talking about black women. Stop talking about black women. Stop it.
They already don't value.
You don't know anything. Stop talking about black women.
That black women haven't done anything.
Listen, boo boo. You go live. Listen, hold on.
Put your cake down right now.
You go live as a black woman and then holler back at me. All right. You haven't been on this planet long enough as a black woman to talk about black woman experiences. Especially grown-ass women. Okay? So go live some life and then holler back at your boy.
The mammies, okay, go talk to a mammy. Bye.
I don't know what that means, go talk to a mammy. And I guess neither do you.
Aren't going to say what
you think an older black woman is a mammy?
Yes, the majority of older black women are black male worshiping mammies. If you want to deal with that instead of a black woman who's actually going to tell you straight up what the real issues are.
You don't know the real issues, my dear. You are not older. Stop. Hold up. Stop. You are wearing your mother's pants right now. Stop. Because not only is it disrespectful to you, but it's disrespectful to a lot of black women out there. You are not in a position to be talking like this. You're not in a position to be talking like this, right? You put on your mom's clothes and you think you're an adult. You're not. All right? So until you actually you've had probably some negative experiences with some fuck boys, right? And you got a hold of some woman. You got a hold. I'm telling you what happened because I already know. I've already seen this playbook. This is easy for me. Easy peasy. You got a hold of some woman who was talking shit about black men and black men ain't this and this and that, right? And it resonated with you because you had some fucked up things that have happened to you. So you're coping with that. I'm just saying that this is not the way to cope, right? This is not the best way to cope. And I think you should discuss this with your therapist because how you are going about it is going to lead you to a path of vagina or a cat. Now, if that's okay with you, then by all means, go right ahead. I'm telling you, as an older man, older than you, I'm telling you, I've seen this before. It's going to lead you down to the path of vagina.
Anybody dealing with black men are going to maybe turn lesbian.
It's going to lead you down to a path of vagina or a cat. Now, if you want either of those paths, you continue down the direction you're headed. But I would advise you to take a U-turn ASAP.
No, I'm open to all races of men. All black women should open up their options and stop dealing with these.
Why would you be open to all races of men if only one race knows what you've been through?
Who cares? Y'all don't have the same races to us. Y'all don't
What do you mean?
What
do you mean? Who cares?
Y'all don't see us.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on, black women. Hold on, black women. All the pain that you've had from being in this country, right? Being in white America. What do you mean? Who cares? Wouldn't you want someone who resonates with that pain and knows how to console you? And knows knows how to handle and knows how to fight the white supremacy? What do you mean, who cares?
No, because I'm not trauma bonding with you dusties.
What do you mean trauma bonding? You don't even know what that means. You are using words you have no idea what that means. You are reading from a script. You're reading from a script. You're reading from a script.
I'm oppressed.
You're reading from a script, my dear, and it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you.
Okay, but you're saying that I need somebody that's going to understand my struggles, but black men don't even have the same feelings towards black men.
You've never experienced a black man. What are you talking about? Stop talking about things you've never even experienced. I talk about black women because I've experienced black women, okay? I talk about women because I've experienced them in general. The shit that I talk about from real life that I can pull from. You haven't experienced. You haven't experienced a black man. You've experienced some black dusties. That lets me know that you were a dusty. Only dusties attract dusties, boo. I've never been a dusty. I don't know what that means. This is This is new for me. So what I would advise you to do is to up your game, boo.
I am exactly. That's exactly.
But you're not upping your game in which You're not upping your game,
And
in
that's
which going to
exactly
attract
what
black
do
men.
not value. When black women
You're
up their
not
game,
upping
they do
your
not
game in a
value that.
manner that's going to attract the man that you want, a good man. It's not going to do
Exactly.
that.
And
No
that's what
man,
I'm doing.
no
Not
man is
just
going to listen to
educational-wise,
this.
mentally, because I'm going to therapy, educational wise, and you say that's not upping your game.
No man
Okay,
is going to
I'm
listen to
trying
this.
not to be.
No
I'm
man
trying
is
not
going to
to be
listen to
a
this.
Dusty.
Listen. No
Because
man,
y'all
black,
are narcissists.
black,
Y'all love to
white,
act like black
Asian,
women.
no man is going to listen to this. I'm telling you.
Y'all are narcissists and y'all love to gaslight
Listen
black
to me.
women. Y'all
No
are
man
arrogant.
is going to
Y'all are
listen to
arrogant.
this.
Y'all are arrogant. Y'all no pride. So whatever.
Okay. I don't know how you can say that when you haven't experienced any black men. This is crazy to me. This is like me talking about I don't know, Transylvania or something, and I've never been to Transylvania. Transylvania people are always shit. You know, they always stink. They always smell. And then when you ask a person, have you ever been to Transylvania? No. So what this tells me is, like I said, you're reading from a script. You're just repeating what you heard someone else say. Because I don't know how you can talk about y'all when you just yourself said you've never experienced a black man, a good black man.
When I said I wasn't worldly, that means I'm not out here for the streets. What part of that does you not
The
understand?
fact that you keep saying from the streets, you don't have to be from the streets in order to experience a black man. What are you talking about?
The streets. I'm not for the streets. That's what I
What does
meant
that
by
have to
saying
do
I
with
am
the
not
experience of black?
worldly.
Wait, hold on. You literally are from the streets. You understand? You are.
I said for the streets,
You,
idiot.
but you literally are for the streets. Do you want to know why? Because the only thing you've experienced are dusties.
So
You
because
are
I had a
literally
bad
for
encounter
the
with men, that
streets.
means I'm a hoe. That means
You
I'm
are.
a hoe.
Hey, those are your words, not mine. But you are literally for
No,
the streets.
I'm definitely not a hoe. So.
You're just a dusty
How
with
about- y'all
ambition.
need to
That's
up y'all
it.
game. Y'all
You
need to
might
up
as well
y'all
be an
level.
OnlyFans girl, bruh.
Shoot, I
Like, what are we
know.
talking about here?
That's probably.
Your experience is with dusties, right? You're gonna be a dusty, but with a college degree or something. Like, what are we talking about here?
See, now you're belittling me.
I'm not belittling
You're
you. I'm giving you a
belittling my
reality check, the same
education.
reality check that you've been
And you
yearning
still
for this
expect
entire
black women
time.
to stay by black men's side when y'all
You're a
literally
dusty.
belittle our education.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. That's what
I'm
you.
a dusty.
If you've only attracted dusties, then you are a dusty.
You're fucking stupid. Oh my god, how do people listen to you? Oh my god,
I'm sorry. I haven't attracted any dusties.
You're so.
So what makes you? Why am I better than you? You don't have to explain that to me. You don't have to explain that to me. Why am I better than you? Dusties attract dusties, boo. I'm sorry to tell you that. The reason you even admitted that. That's why you trying to upgrade yourself so you can get out of this dusty lifestyle.
And that's what
you probably have a dusty
like.
brain right now. Because that's what I'm hearing from you is dusty
exactly
talk.
What y'all need to do. Stop being dusty.
This is how dusty. But what you're saying to me is how dusty women talk. All this black men need to do this. This is dusty talk.
Did you take comprehension in second grade or not?
But this is dusty talk. What you're saying, black women have always had black men's back. Black women always had. That's dusty talk. So you still in the dusty era. You need to upgrade yourself.
And black men have always been inside copperfish vagina.
Dusty talk.
So,
that's dusty talk.
Okay.
That's dusty talk. I'm just letting you know. You're just gonna attract a different type of dusty.
Y'all think y'all have options?
I'm trying to help you out. I really am. You're just gonna attract a different type of dusty. That's all you're gonna do. It's still dusty talk, right? You may think that this is upgraded talk. I'm talking like a real black woman, an independent black woman who knows what's up. This is dusty talk.
Never said I was independent. Okay.
This is dusty talk. This is all
y'all
it is.
Y'all are abusive as fuck. Black women.
Dusty talk. Y'all abusive as fuck. Dusty talk.
Yes, y'all are. This is
dusty talk. You want to know why? Because black women, there are black women who haven't been abused. Right? There are black women who haven't experienced dusty men. So what separates those women from you? You want to know what it is? They know how to vet their men because they're good women. They don't talk like you. I'm letting you know they don't talk like you.
Good for them. I'm pretty sure they're going through the ringer with their baby daddy.
Nope, they don't have a baby. They don't have a baby daddy.
Their husband probably putting them in the ringer right now too, because they're a black male worshiper and they haven't figured out how to vet.
Their husband though
does not make them
Their
How?
husband,
Just because
though.
a woman, just
Isn't
because a
that what
woman
you?
is married
Isn't that
does
what
not
you've been
mean she
screaming
got
about
have.
as far as black men date this and that, date that? Their husband, though.
Okay, so just
Yeah,
because
they're
a
with
woman
their
is married
husband for
means
the
she
rest
has
of
a
their
good
lives, though. They're with their husband for the rest of their lives. So what?
A ring doesn't change everything. So
A ring doesn't change everything. So what are you looking for then?
just because a woman is married doesn't mean that she has a good man. It doesn't. She could still be
Absolutely,
being put through
absolutely
the
correct.
ringer.
I absolutely correct.
So
But I think,
if a black
but I
woman
think
want
a
to think
woman
she's
who's
better
married is
because
one
she's
step above
married,
a woman who is
she's
not.
going to have the shock of her life.
I think a woman who's married is one step above than one who is not.
I'd rather be single than be in a marriage where I'm doing.
I know, because that's how you're
most
talking,
of the-
and that's literally what I said, right? You're either gonna get vagina or a cat, because this is dusty talk.
No, I'm
Congratulations, you
gonna
played
choose better,
yourself.
like y'all say. I'm gonna choose better than
Congratulations,
not choosing black men.
Congratulations, you played yourself. I don't think you understand. No man, white, black, Asian, because there are certain components of every man that they look for in a woman. No man wants a dusty. And even if they do, right? Because sometimes good men do want a dusty. They don't put rings on dusties. Dusty women don't get
We
rings.
have a domestic violence. The community of black men and black women, the community, this is like a whole domestic violence relationship in the community. Black men tearing black women apart, saying their education doesn't matter, calling them
No,
hoes,
nobody's
bitches.
saying their
This is
education
a
doesn't matter. Hold on, I never said that.
relationship.
I never said that your education doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter in the hyper sense that you think it does. You're putting a lot of weight and gravitas on this education. I'm letting you know that is not how it relates to men, especially the men that you want to get with. I'm just letting you know. Now, you don't have to agree, but I've already been there.
But y'all not even high value in the first place, so y'all need women to go 50-50. So wouldn't you want her to have an education so she can land a job?
What do you mean? What? That's
You
dusty
need
talk.
women to
That's
help you pay
dusty.
the bills.
Boo boo, that's
You
dusty
need
talk.
women to help you pay the bills.
That's dusty
No,
talk.
Marriages, no,
That's
because y'all won't
dusty
even
talk.
marry women nowadays. Y'all won't even marry women nowadays unless she can go 50-50. So if you saying that
That's
you want a woman who
dusty
can go
talk.
50-50,
Listen,
you
this is
better
dusty.
want her to have an education.
I'm letting you know this is dusty talk. All this is good man deflection. It's a good man avoidance spray.
Go to school.
It's good man avoidance spray. Nobody's going to listen to this. Black, white, it doesn't even matter the race of the person. This is dusty talk. All these men want is a 50-50. Do you understand there are women who have never paid a bill in their life? I'm letting you know there are women out there, black women, who have never paid a bill in their life. They don't even know what a bill looks like.
That's good for them. That's not the majority of black
But
women.
no. But listen. Who wants to be the majority of black women? Do you? I don't want to be the majority of black men. I want to be one of the good ones. I want to be a good black man. I would assume most women want to be a good black woman. If the majority are good, right? Then are they really good?
If I didn't go to school,
if that's a majority,
on the street.
I don't think the majority of any group of people are good. Do you think the majority of white men are good men?
So I have a scenario. If I didn't go to school, I would be on the street. And I'm not an ugly woman.
If you didn't, wait, hold up. No, if you didn't go to school, you'd be on the streets? What?
Yes, because of, I'm not going to even go there, but.
That is statistically, hold on. This is factually untrue.
The reason why we have to be independent is because we can't depend on the majority of black men. So we have to find a way for ourselves, which means.
What do you mean depend on black men? What would you depend on black men for? Did you not have a father growing up?
Hell no, neither did you.
Okay, no, I did. You have daddy issues. So none of this has to do with black men. This has to do with your personal issues that you are projecting onto other men.
My dad was an alcoholic and my mom got a divorce.
I understand, but the issues you are dealing with, you are projecting onto other men.
Saying, even when the dad is in the home like he was in and out, he was an alcoholic, he was coming in and drunk. My mom finally divorced his ass. You want to say black women don't stand by black men? My mom been through so much with my dad. She had tried to take him to rehab.
I
He's
don't
in the
I
like
don't doubt that. I don't doubt any of that,
no, because
right?
what you're saying is a
What
lie,
I'm
and what you're
saying
saying is
is
ignorant.
what I'm saying
What
is
you're
that the
saying is a
pain
lie, and what you're saying is
no
ignorant.
what
That black women don't stick by black men. My mom stuck by my dad when he was an alcoholic, going in and out the house, traumatizing all his fucking kids, coming in drunk as fuck, and my mom
I
stayed
think
by his
yeah, I
ass.
think that's
And I
horrible.
still got trauma from that shit.
I
I
think your
still got
mom should
trauma
have
from that
chosen
shit.
better. That's what I think.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. The older generation of black women are black male worshipers. So go and listen to a black male worshiper.
Wait, no, hold up, because that's not fair to your mom, right? Because just
no,
because you're
I tell her too. I tell her that she's a no.
no, that's not fair to your mom. Hold up, because you don't understand the ramifications of a marriage, especially when there's a child involved, right? She made a pledge on her wedding day to stick to him until death do us part. She did her role. You do not, as far as belittle what your mom did, because she did everything she was supposed to do as a woman and a wife.
What she said. I said she probably was a black male worshiper.
It has nothing to do with a black male worshiper. She did everything she was supposed to do as a woman and a wife.
That's an example of a black woman sticking by a black man's side.
That is what. No. Hold on. She was sticking by her husband, right? Because she loved him.
And who was a black man? Duh.
Yes, because she loved him.
Okay, and a lot of black women would go through hell and back for a black man. So what the hell are you saying?
What do you mean? That's what you're supposed to do. I don't have a. If I were to get a wife, listen, hold up. I don't think. Listen, this is once again the ignorance coming in. As a husband, if I were to have a wife, I would go to hell and back for my wife. 100%. No matter what it is. That's called being a husband. If she has problems, we have problems. And we're going to help her through those problems. What she did is what she was supposed to do as a wife. He found a good woman. So instead of trying to play that up as far as, oh, it was black man worship, no. Do not allow these dusty ass fucking women out here. Hold on. No. Don't allow these dusty.
Mom is with a black man right
don't
now.
Allow. Listen. You are young.
No.
You do not allow these dusty women who do not have a man, which is the majority of these dusty women. The majority of these dusty women don't have a man, and that's because they're dusty, right? Do not allow them to poison your view of as far as your mom or the relationship you had going on, because that is not the case.
Okay, but my mom is married right now. Okay, she's married, right? Marriage is supposed to be this badge of honor, but she's with a black man, and I told her that she needs to. I'm not gonna even go there. But yes, I tell my mom straight up, she need to stop having too much faith in y'all niggas, because a lot of black women have too much faith that black men, if they support black men at their lowest, that they're going to make it to a black man will willingly put a black woman through the ringer, willingly. That's what my mom is going through right now in her marriage. This nigga is mooching off of her, and she's standing by his side because he's going to get it together. He's going to provide. Yeah, okay. And you saying that black women don't stick by
listen,
black
I don't think you understand as far you don't understand the situation that your mom is in. I'm familiar with this situation. You're on the outside looking in, and you have no life experience to even as far as to temper what you even feel. So you're really not in a position for this.
But you need to take that shit back, because I hope I don't hear that shit again, because
hear what shit again?
That black women are not standing or have never stood beside black men. Y'all would be in a whole worse position. Y'all are.
I don't want to hear this, because these aren't your words, right? They're someone else's.
No, this is my words.
No, they're not. They can't possibly be. Hold on. They can't possibly be your words, because you don't have enough life experience to say this. You don't.
You can look at the other generation of black people, and you don't have to actually go through something and learn the hard way. Have you ever thought about that? You can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from the older generation. I'm 27. I'm old enough. I'm not a fucking kid. Okay? So
yeah, and you've never experienced a good man. So I don't know why you're talking about most men when you haven't even experienced any.
I've only dealt with black men. So what does that say about your counterpart?
What that tells me is that you're a Dusty that attracted other Dusties.
And that's why I'm going to school, so that I could be around better quality people. That's what
Okay, then. So until you get around those better quality men,
like.
until you get around those better quality men, you can't speak on men. You is sure as hell not black men.
Okay.
Why would I listen to a Dusty talk about her experiences with other Dusty men? That doesn't make any sense. Of course you're going to have Dusties. You were a Dusty. And you realize, hey, I'm a Dusty.
Yeah,
I need to stop messing with these Dusties and upgrade myself.
We're Dusties because you guys are Dusties. How about that? Y'all poor leaders.
Sure, if you want to blame as far as Dusty women on Dusty black men,
because
by all means.
That I'm dealing with a black man makes me a Dusty. You're saying because I'm dealing with black men makes me a Dusty.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Let me be specific. I'm saying that you're a Dusty. The reason. Hold on. I'm not saying that you're
black man.
I'm not saying that you're a Dusty. Hold up. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that you're a Dusty because you dealt with black men. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're a Dusty because you've dealt with Dusties.
Yeah, the average black man is a Dusty.
I don't know. How can you say that? I don't know. How can you say that? Based off of what experience?
Just because you have a job and a partner.
Based off of what experience? This is where
you're supposed to do doesn't make you a
But this is where the talking points come that fall apart, right?
Means.
You talking about the average black man is a Dusty. What experience do you have with black men?
I don't think you know what a Dusty means.
I don't think you know what a Dusty means. Actually, I think you do because you are one. So it makes sense that you would know what a Dusty is.
That means if you can say that if you want to, but that's because I'm dealing with black men.
I'm not saying that. You are saying that, right? You said you had Dusty men. From my experience, Dusty women usually attract Dusty men.
No, the average black woman dealing with a black man is going to encounter Dusty, period. It doesn't matter if it's a pookie or not. Just because you have a job, an apartment, pay your bills does not make you a good man. You could still be a Dusty. You could be an educated lane, and you could still be a Dusty.
Dear, you're talking out of your mindset. All due respect, you're talking out of your butt. What is a good man to you?
A Dusty can be a mindset.
No. Okay? What is a good man to you?
A man who provides.
What does that mean to you? What does that mean to provide?
Stays with the family. He paid the bills. Yes,
what does that mean to provide?
For the bills, for the finances.
He pays for all the bills. He pays for all the bills. Hold up. I'm trying to write this down. He pays for all of the bills, correct?
He doesn't have to pay for all of the bills. He has to provide.
So what portion of the bills does he pay for?
The majority of the bills. Maybe he pays the rent and the woman pays the electricity or whatever. The smaller bills, but he pays the majority.
Okay, he pays the majority of the bills. Okay, what else?
Yes, and he provides a house.
He provides a house. Okay.
So he's not shacking up with a woman and leeching and mooching off of her.
Okay, what else?
So he's religious. He doesn't have to be religious, but he has to have a good mindset.
A good mindset. I don't know. What does that mean? A good mindset.
A good head on your shoulder. You're not a Dusty, which mentally.
A good head on your shoulders?
You care about your family. You take care of your kids.
Wait, what do you mean take care of your kids? Does he have kids prior to meeting you?
No, he takes care of the kids that y'all have.
Oh, okay.
Like he's in the life, like he's actively involved. He's not just sitting back expecting you to do everything. And he is participating in activities. He takes them to the park. He's emotionally available. He's not just expecting you to pick them up all the time. Like, he's actively doing stuff as a family.
Wait, why wouldn't he expect you to pick up the kids all the time?
Is this a gender role?
Oh, you don't believe in... Wait, you don't believe in gender roles? Because it sounds like you very much do.
Is picking up a kid a woman-specific duty?
If I'm paying for the tuition and I'm paying for the car and I'm paying for the house, the least you could do is pick up the kids.
Okay,
or do you disagree? Do you disagree?
No, if a man is doing the stuff he's supposed to do as a man, then yes, the woman can rest in her femininity. She can clean, she can cook. I'm not against gender roles. I'm not against if a man is doing what he's supposed to do as a man and providing, then a woman can rest in her femininity and she can cook, clean, pick up the kids, and do all that stuff. But if you expect a woman to go 50-50, which means she got to pay half.
Okay,
instead of him
so
paying
so
the
based off
majority.
of what you said, right? Majority of the bills provides a house, good mindset, good head on his shoulders, cares for the family, kids, emotionally available. What do you think those men are looking for?
I can't speak for men. I don't know. Can you tell me?
You haven't experienced those men that you're looking for. I'm telling you right now, shocker, they don't care about your education.
That's fine. That's fine. But you're thinking that I make that my whole identity. I have other great qualities.
What great qualities do
So,
you have
oh my
that would attract
God.
such a man?
Are we dating? Are we on a dating?
I'm just curious. I want to give you as far as a realistic, as far as a perspective.
Wait, I didn't know I had to give you my resume. I didn't know I was in like on a
Can you
date
cook?
or something.
Can you cook?
Yes.
What is yes?
Yes, I know how to cook. I'm not a chef, but I know how to make some good meals. Like,
You know how to make some good meals? Good enough for a family
yes.
of 4?
The fuck, I'm not having that many kids.
A family of 2 then?
Not in this world. Not in this world. Nope.
A family of 1? You want 1 kid?
Two.
2 kids. Okay, 2 kids. You know, what happened if he wants 3 kids?
If he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man and he's a good man, then I will have 3 kids.
You'll have 2 kids.
I'm
You'll
not
have as
about
many
to-
as he wants you to have.
I said 3.
You'll
said I
have
would
as many
3.
as he
I'm not-
wants you to have.
Am I a baby making machine?
If he wants you to be, yes.
Well.
Why wouldn't you?
So if you want a woman,
do you oppose that?
I'm gonna spew one of you guys' talking points. If you want a woman who is fit, feminine, friendly, you think having a whole bunch of kids is going to be easy to keep your weight down?
That's going to be her job.
Or are you going to leave? You're going to leave when somebody gets fat by having like 6 or more kids.
Guess whose responsibility that is? That's not mine. That's yours.
The more kids you have, the more likely it's harder to keep
That's not true.
So
you can keep it down. If you
if
put in work, you can keep it down. That's not true.
Okay, but majority of the time you're talking about hypothetical.
We're not talking about the majority of the time, nor are we talking about the majority of men, right? Because what you listed off is not the majority of men. You do realize this, right? These are the upper echelon, the creme de la creme of men. So if you think he's not going to want a Spartan army and then going to allow you to get fat, you're out of your mind.
Well, if he's expecting to have like a whole bunch of kids and be a baby making machine, then she's going to get fat, believe it or not.
That's not how that works. I'm letting you know that's not how that works. So if you're not ready for that, you're in for a very crude awakening.
So are you married? Do you have a kid? Just like, how do you know? Like,
because I know these men. I hang around these men. I know what they want and what they think. They're very much family oriented. That is very much what they are.
So if a good man wants a whole bunch of kids, the woman, I'm confused.
Why wouldn't I?
So are you saying
listen, if I'm making millions and millions of dollars, which is what he would have to be making to provide all of this, right? Are you crazy that I don't want as far as a bunch of offspring? 100% I do. And if it's not with you, it's going to be with someone else. Are you willing to be? Are you ready to be submissive?
If a man is doing what he's supposed to do, shoot, I might have more than 3 kids. I might have a whole bunch of kids. I don't know.
So you're willing to be submissive. So if he needs his back scratched or his feet rubbed, you are willing to do it without any hesitation and without any complaints.
If I find the right man and the right guy for me, yes.
No. There is no right man and right guy for you. Because what you have to understand as far as what you're looking for, like I said, it's the creme de la creme. It's the top echelon of men. There are not a lot of men like this. So your pickings is going to be very, very slim. You are going to be auditioning for them, not him for you. Do you understand that dynamic?
Yeah.
So as long as you're okay with being a slave to an extent, because that's what you will be.
What?
That's what you will be. What do you mean? You have no money,
slave?
right? You have no money, right? I'm paying for everything. What leverage do you have?
I think you should use a different word.
No, there is no different word, right? Because I have the money. I have the power. I have the say so. I use whatever the words I want to use.
So you basically want a slave. That's what you're saying.
No, that's what basically you want. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen in many of these scenarios. You bring nothing to the table. What, your good looks? There's a new version of you that comes out every year. What, you cook and clean? We have a maid to do that.
Oh.
What do you do?
So what? Okay.
And
so
if you think you're the only woman who is looking for these men, you're out of your mind. So how do you plan to compete? I'm just curious. What do you have? What's your special token that you plan to present?
So what's a good woman since I don't bring nothing to the table?
I'm not saying you don't. I'm asking you, what do you bring? I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
No, I want you to tell me, what is a good woman then?
I haven't heard anything. Hold on. This is what you wanted.
I gave you the list. I gave you a list of good men. Then what is a good woman?
But this is what you wanted.
To get these.
If you don't know but that's the point. You don't know what you're signing up for.
Y'all don't
and you sure as heck don't even know the competition that you about to meet. Because if this is truly what you want, the competition is fierce. Is beyond fierce.
Yeah, I don't know what.
So you have a little pipe dream of what a man is and what the roles are going to be. That's not how that works. Say he gets sick, right? Or gets some type of debilitating illness. Are you willing to take him to get him out of bed and wash him every day?
You can hire somebody for that.
No. Are you willing to do it?
Wash a grown man's ass? Are you serious?
It's your husband, yes.
So that's what you expect.
You're not even ready, boo. You're not even ready.
But
you're not even ready.
Hire somebody for that.
You think everything's going to be peaches and creams. You don't know nothing about nothing.
Why would a grown man want his wife to wash his ass?
Why wouldn't I want my wife to wash me? If I've suffered an illness or a disease or something and come down with something, why wouldn't I want my wife, who I've spent my entire life with, who knows my body than anyone else, to take care of me?
All the way left.
No, that's not going left. That can happen in a split second. Your life can be topsy-turvy.
You're deep in a marriage.
Your life can be topsy-turvy in a second. In a second, something happens. A car accident, something, a crash, whatever. Gets a stroke. In a second. I don't think you understand that. Even when it comes to money, something can happen. Bad investment. Are you going to stick around?
Yes, if I meet the right person.
You don't know what the right person is. I don't even think you're the right person for that right person.
If he's doing
instead of you living in a mansion, say he can't afford a mansion now. Now you have to live in a smaller place and not so good neighborhood. You still have the same kids. Then what? There is no maid now.
If he's doing what he's supposed to, of course I would. If he's being a butthole, I'm going to leave his ass high and dry.
But then he's not going to be able to afford the majority of the bills because something happened with his job or something.
What are you even saying right now?
I'm saying life. That's what I'm saying. And you haven't experienced it. And you coming up with asinine opinions about black men and black this and black that, and you don't know anything about anything. I would suggest you stop listening to the person that you've been listening to and live your life. All right, Queen? You take care and stay safe.